So the season has restarted. Manchester City has been seen doing a pretty good job after so many months not having had competitive activity. Arsenal may have less experience in this team simply because of the fact that it is so difficult to adjust after you've allowed 3 or 4 months to go past. It's not going to be very easy. What did we see? We saw a fair quality game, but I will admit that it was not the quality I was looking for. And then maybe I'm unreasonable. Maybe I am aware of the fact that these players have not had the competitive spirit and they certainly did not have the crowds around them. But what I actually saw was a distribution of the ball by Manchester City brought them clearly to me to the victory. There's no doubt about it. If you don't cover that middle field, Manchester City is going to make full use of it. You've got people like De Bruyne, you've got people like Gundogan and David Silva. These three are wonderful players. And they have been seen just keeping possession of the ball, bringing the opposition in bad place, and then getting that ball to Jesus or Mahrez on the right-hand side, who played quite a good game, in my opinion. And then, of course, Raheem Sterling. It was one of these days that they were not brilliant, but they were good. One of the things that I've got to point out about Manchester City here is most of the time we get the impression that they're 25, 30 passes strong. That's true, but most of them, they're passing the responsibilities. There's no penetration in it. There's no form of activity with the ball that would have put pressure on the Arsenal defense. If it did, they would have scored more goals because David Luiz was certainly not at his best. He was mistiming the ball. He was not giving good cover to his wing-backs. And the central defender who played right in front of him was struggling to be able to keep communication with him. So there was a deficiency there that I am sure that Sterling had seen it. I'm sure that Mahrez had seen it. And definitely Julius keeps looking around and looking around. The chances were there. They had a number of it. But the point about it is that Arsenal did not show up. They did not provide the kind of game I expect they were doing. In the first place, I'm looking at Lazaret on the bench. That couldn't be possible. He's a class player. He's a goal scorer. You want to score goals in this game. And then, of course, Aubameyang is the same thing. They're similar type of players, running nice, short, diagonal runs and getting that ball up from Tierney on one side, Bellerin on the other. That might have been helpful, but they didn't allow it to happen because they had no midfield. Guardiola say it's good, but he's not a ball winner. He tries to keep the ball, use it, and play it sensibly. He probably did, but it was not up to the standard that would get enough penetration for Arsenal to play and get goals. So what are we saying about Manchester City? I'm pretty comfortable with it simply because of the fact they've had a lot of problems. They enter court with one thing and a lot of people looking to transfer here, there, and everywhere. But Guardiola was very optimistic about his chances. He was leering them on. He was pushing a really good performance on the field generally. Because Aguero didn't start. And as soon as he came on, he had 3 shots at goal, and it was a lot of bad luck. It was not bad shooting. A lot of bad luck didn't get him to the goals again. Manchester City will play the next 10 matches very well. They're going to build. They haven't had Leroy Sané on the field yesterday. That's interesting, but it's good. He's a youngster. It was a little bit slippery, as we have seen. And as a matter of fact, David Luiz made full bad weather of that little bit of slipping when he allowed the ball to run off his chest, and there was Sterling knocking it into the net. It was a one-sided game. There's no question about it. Manchester City was the better team. But if they play that type of game against a team with a strong midfield, they're going to find that they have a problem. Because when you look behind, you're looking at the Garcia, who got injured, unfortunately. He's not a constructive player in the back, really and truly. You've got Walker. He goes up the line sensibly, but he comes back quite quickly. That is his strength. His retreat is quick as ever. Mendy has been perfect. He played a wonderful game. He went up the side, he used the 1-2 balls, he got to the left side. He took the opposition to task. And when you have that and brought under the field, they now fully fit Laporte. He was the ideal person for the central defense position. I have my reservations about Garcia. Don't know why Fernandinho didn't start in the game. But these things happen. You've got to think a lot for Guardiola because he's a thinker. He does things. He didn't bring Bernardo Silva on the field. That's surprising to me. But at the same time, you've got to understand that little Jesus has been getting goals. He's a little bit of a bustler and a hustler, and he was exactly what they're looking for. So it was a one-sided game. I'm so sorry for Mikel Arteta to be able to say, well, we played against Man City and I have explained to my players exactly what I learned from Pep Guardiola. It never showed itself. So bad luck to Arsenal, good luck to Man City. A fairly good game, not a perfect game for a team like Man City, but I expect that they will go on and on and on. But it's a pretty good start for the restart of the tournament, and I hope that they do as well as it's humanly possible.